State Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Van Zielum.
Cody, as you can see on the screen, this is probably, I said it last year, this is my favorite episode to do, and it's here. We're doing this a little bit earlier than usual, but hey, uh, we're the week zero game, so everything gets moved up. So tonight, we are doing our schedule prediction show. With that being said, we're about to hop right into it, man.
All right.
All right. So we have Farmageddon on the 23rd of Viva Stadium in Ireland. I believe most of the times for the games have been confirmed, at least for the first four games have been confirmed. But 11 a.m. ESPN, August 23rd, K State. What do you think?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the test for Iowa State, and obviously having it in their first game is going to really challenge the Cyclones to see how far they've gone since obviously losing their top wide receivers in Jalen Nolan, Jaden Higgins, to see where they're standing at. And also, this is an early Big 12 conference like heavyweight bout because you have two of the perceived favorites of the Big 12 in Kansas State and Iowa State. And Kansas State is touted to be one of the favorites to win the conference.
Yeah, definitely, Cody. I think I think it's gonna. I think one of the main reasons why Kansas State is a 3.5 point favorite, because I really think that everybody is chalking Iowa State's success up to Higgins and Null, which yes, they were a lot of the success, but there were still a lot of other weapons on the offensive side, as you know. And I also think that an X factor in this game is definitely going to be Ben Bramer. The use of the tight ends in this game is going to be crucial. I also think the run game will be better, and defensively, I think we'll see an improvement in that and an improvement in the run defense. So, do you have any score predictions for this game?
I think, like the last few Farmageddons that we've seen between these two, it's going to come down to who makes crucial plays. And I mean, we saw last year Rocco Beck with two huge game winning drives against UCF and Miami in the Pop Tarts Bowl. So we know that Rocco brings it. Avery Johnson, I feel like I didn't see the same type of clutch ability. And obviously, Avery Johnson's touted to be a better quarterback than Rocco Beck. But when it comes to crunch time and really can you win the game in the last few moments, Rocco Beck has shown to be that type of quarterback. And that's the kind of difference maker you need to win a heated rivalry like Farmageddon. So I think Iowa State will find a way to win this game. I'm expecting a 35-31 game.
Ooh, high scoring. Um, so I think for me, it comes down to which team will like make the least mistakes. Like honestly, that's what it's been like in this game. That's why we've won four out of the last five out of the last seven in the series. Because we've been winning the turnover margin and then making big plays and playing a complete game too. Um, we've been last year offense, defense, special teams. We have had the special teams advantage the last few games in this series. So yeah, I think it's gonna end in a dramatic way like it always does. Um, what I think is gonna happen is Rocco's gonna lead us down to a game winning drive. We go up 28-24. K State goes down the field, and then Tez picks it off to seal the game. Iowa State heads out of Dublin and gets a 28-24 win.
Yeah. Okay. So I
So
think my thought here with Rocco Beck, we mentioned Rocco
we
Beck. The one
both
thing I do want to see,
are starting off with the Cyclones at 1-0.
yep, the big thing I do want to see out of Rocco Beck is can he limit those interceptions that turn into pick sixes? Because that was one of the things that kind of hampered Rocco Beck. So
Yeah,
if we see that Rocketback can limit those type of game-changing turnovers, we can see growth in Rocketback, and he can definitely lead this team to more victories and more assured victories than what we seen last year when he had nail biters came down the clutch.
Yeah, and then another fun wrinkle in this game is that the last two Pop Tarts are that are alive are going to be coming to
I believe the trophy is coming too, if I'm not mistaken.
So it is not just rivalry game. We're gonna find out who the ultimate. We'll get to see who the ultimate Pop Tarts Bowl champion is in this game. So that's gonna be fun. So we move on, and we have the home opener next week, in Ames. It's gonna be nice. I wish I was there. I won't be there for that game. But a South Dakota team who was in the Final Four last year, for the FCS playoffs. So they're a really good team. Aiden Bowman is going to be the quarterback. That name sounds familiar because he used to be on the roster and he transferred from Iowa State to South Dakota. And he's had a pretty good career with the Coyotes. So what do you think in this one?
Yeah, South Dakota does bring a pretty good season with them, going 11-3 overall, 7-1 in the Missouri Valley. Their only loss in conference was to South Dakota State in Brookings, but it took overtime and they only lost by 3, so they can compete with the top of the FCS. And looking at their other losses, lost only by 14 to Wisconsin. Now Wisconsin isn't this like the Wisconsin that was the juggernaut back in like the Russell Wilson days, but still,
Right, right.
it was a road game in Camp Randall. So keeping it as close as they did was very impressive. So I think this bodes solidly for North Dakota or South Dakota, excuse me. North Dakota was last season, but I digress.
Yeah.
I think this will be a great opportunity for Iowa State to obviously they're assuming they come off a huge win over Kansas State. This is kind of like one of those games. Of like, okay, we know we beat our big rival in Kansas State, but we also can't overlook South Dakota, even though we have Iowa coming up the week after. So this could be an opportunity for South Dakota to potentially keep the game closer than it should be against Iowa State. But knowing Matt Campbell, knowing this Iowa State staff, they're going to be focused on South Dakota, and I think they're going to take care of business in the home opener.
Yeah, I agree. I think we win by uh there might be a little bit of a hangover at the beginning, but I think we win by like 17 to 20 points in this game and we pull away. So we have that, and then of course it was announced, I believe, about a few weeks ago that Iowa State's going to be on Big Noon, and we have the Cyhawk game in Ames. A really, really big opportunity, Cody, for a chance for Iowa State to win this game for the first time in 7 tries against Iowa, which the last time Iowa State beat Iowa at home, I was a freshman in college. So we're due for a win, Cody.
For sure. And I mean, Iowa, they're bringing in like the Iowa fan base. There's a lot of hype around the South Dakota State transfer quarterback Mark Gronowski. So, and I mean, Mark Gronowski is a pretty great. Like he was cooking down to South Dakota State. Obviously,
Yep.
South Dakota State is a dynasty, is a powerhouse in FCS. So, no doubt you're bringing in a pretty good quarterback. And I'm curious to see how this Iowa offense looks like in the second year under Tim Lester. I did see some strides when it comes to the offense, but I feel like there's still a lot left to be desired when it comes to the offensive side of the football for Iowa. And obviously, we know what they're bringing on defense. So this is just going to be another case where it's two teams that know each other really well. And Matt Campbell, I mean, he has gotten 2 of the last 3 against Kirk Ferentz, but like you mentioned, Iowa State has not won at home since the triple overtime thriller in 2011. So this is a chance for Matt Campbell to cement like he can't consistently win this Cyhawk game.
Yeah. As always, you already know that something crazy and cookie comes down to this game. With K State and Iowa State, they sort of play like the exact same way, except that with Iowa just is like trying to force you to make a mistake, and if you make a mistake, then they just jump on you and pounce on you. But I think you know in the second half of last year's Cyhawk game, it really gave me confidence, especially with Taylor Mauser at the helm at OC. I think we do see Rocco air it out in this game, um, and I think we finally break the streak, and I have us beating the Hawks. So I think we finally break the streak, and right now we have the both have Iowa State at 3-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same, and I think it's gonna come down to Rocco Beck and the tight ends. I think those tight ends could be
Oh
really
yeah,
crucial in breaking down the second level of Iowa because that front seven is really like the key to the um, the Phil Parker defense. Like that's no doubt that's been a huge aspect when it comes to D line and the linebackers. You know what you're getting out of Iowa when it comes to the front seven. It's just can our tight ends be able to find holes in the zones against man coverage and win those 50-50 balls against the strong linebackers, which can then open up our wide receivers against what I think is a relatively weaker secondary unit compared to the front seven.
definitely. Yeah, man. So I do have a question to ask you. This this is an interesting question, but for this is just a thought experiment. So in the event that Iowa State is 2-1, who would you rather lose to? Would you rather lose to Iowa or would you rather lose to K State?
I think in terms of the long term goal, I'm thinking long term here. I'd rather lose to Iowa because even though you have the loss at home again to Iowa, it doesn't affect you conference wise. And I mean, you're still going to have opportunity to win out in your conference. If you lose to Kansas State, you're already behind the eight ball when it comes to conference play at 0-1 before you even hit September.
Yeah, no, I was thinking long term as well. Um, if we're 2-1, but we're 1-0 in conference and we lose to Iowa, I mean, it's gonna suck that we lose to the Hawks again. But like, we'll be 1-0 in conference, and this loss in the grand terms of things won't hurt us. All right, so both of us are at 3-0. Um, so the next week we are at Centennial Bank Stadium in Jonesboro. I don't know why we have these freaking group of five road games. It doesn't make any sense. But we are on the road at Arkansas State. What do you think?
I this has to this is prime for a letdown. I mean, we saw it 2 years ago, obviously, with the infamous game at Ohio, and you knew how much the fans were irritated after that. I remember being pretty irritated as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that day really set a fire under Iowa State because I remember after that they came out swinging, and I mean they were able to salvage a season which some people thought was going to be really bad because starting out 1-2, losing to your in-state rival and a G5 team.
Yeah. Um. So Eric is going to be joining us mid-show. So 1 second, Eric.
What's
Welcome to
going
the
on?
show.
Hello.
So we are already at the fourth game of the schedule, so we are
Sure.
at we have us at 3-0. So now right now we're breaking down Arkansas State.
Oh, you
So I'm
guys
gonna,
have us at 3-0.
yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll do it quick. Sorry that I joined late.
All
No,
good.
you saw it's all good.
Ireland is such a big game. It's this sets the tone of the season. I'm sure you guys said that the same thing. All the talking
Yep.
points. Going to be a battle of two really good quarterbacks, two really good defenses. Kansas State has a great offensive line. It's really this game comes down to are you mentally ready to actually play the game?
Right.
Iowa State has proven that they're more mentally ready. This group of guys, maybe in 2021, no. Maybe in other years, no. But that team last year proved that they were mentally ready for, the difficult stages. I think in the Big 12 championship game, they were so injury depleted that it wouldn't have mattered how mentally ready they were. But this game comes down to who's more mentally ready. Iowa State will be more mentally ready. They win probably by 3 points. I think it's higher
Yeah.
scoring than people think. Iowa State wins. South Dakota, that would be a really, really tough game, but I think they pull that one out. Um, and then the Iowa game, the Cyhawk game, that's a that's going to be more about getting the monkey off your back, winning at home for the first time in 14 years, and I think they get it done. I think that Mark Gronowski is not the quarterback that Iowa thinks they are, but I'm not even going to, I think he's a nice piece. I think he's a good quarterback, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know who else they have. They've lost a ton on
Yeah.
defense. Kamari Moulton is not Caleb Johnson. He's not even Tyler Goodson. He's not Akram Wadley. He's not those guys. And I know I'm creating an amazing soundbite for them, but he's just not.
He's not.
And I mean, he's not. At this point in his career, he's not a third-round draft pick. I'll just put it that way. I just gave them an
Yeah.
amazing soundbite.
I mean, here's the thing
Yeah, you
with
sure did.
yeah, yeah, you gave him an amazing soundbite, but like you said, like unless like you're the likes of Ohio State, it's very rare to produce very consistent good running backs. Like obviously, Caleb
Right.
Johnson is a once in a generational for like a school like Iowa, and I mean they could prove me wrong, and I respect it. But unless you're like the likes of Ohio State, you're not pumping out running backs like the way they have obviously Ezekiel Elliott and it's not Judkins, like Trayvon Henderson even.
Right.
So it's very difficult to have like that kind of like depth when it comes to running back. I think Penn State last year they had a pretty solid running back room, but I think it's just difficult to really have like generational like talent consistently, like the likes of Ohio State.
I think that this is another hard-fought game. I respect my opponent. I think Iowa State needs to respect their opponent here. And if they respect their opponent but know that they're confident enough to actually get the job done, I think they win. If they win in Dublin, I think they will have the confidence that they need, but also the discipline and the focus that they need to beat Iowa at home. I think they're 3-0. It's going to be a tough 3-0, but I think they're 3-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Dublin game will tell me whether they would win against Iowa or not, because obviously you're playing your Farmageddon rival, so you're going to have to pull out all the stops when it comes to that game. So that means you're going to be scouted by Iowa heavily, but that means that like okay, you can't leave anything for secret. You can't be too conservative. So and you already know what it's like to play a very tough opponent. So having that like mentally, psychologically, you've already prepared once for a very difficult opponent. So why not do it again? Why not have like that? You know how to prepare for that kind of game.
Gentlemen, we are going to move on to Arkansas State. Um, and this game is at 3 p.m. We all are at 3-0. What do you guys think? Cody, you go, and then Eric, you go.
I think this one, obviously, like you're on the road against a G5 school. A lot of Iowa State fans, and I might do it, I'll admit it. The last time we went on the road against a G5 school, we basically looked like a worse than a G5 school. We looked like a bottom tier G5 school in Athens, Ohio. But I think that was just weird circumstances, obviously, off the gambling scandal we had. And I think from that point on, and Matt Campbell's learned this too. Like, you prepare for everybody, like regardless of what stadium you go to, who you're playing. You got to prepare for everybody the same way that you prepare. So I think this might be one of those ones where it could potentially be a trap, and the fan base is gonna probably bring it up some way somehow. But I think the players, they're ready to they're ready. Like they're gonna be mentally prepared. They know they're not gonna make the same mistakes that they did like two years ago. So I think they'll go in, they'll take care of business, and they'll be 4-0 heading into the bye week.
I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect any of our opponents, but this is one of those where if you're very concerned about this, you're probably not going to meet the goals that you put out for the season. Now, obviously, you take it very seriously. You have to play the game. You have to execute on offense and do all that. But I mean, we're 4-0 after this. It's as easy as that. We have better players. We have better talent. We should have better preparation. We should go into their stadium and, get a W. It might not be as beautiful as it was last year, but, a 35-14 type game. Yeah.
You just got to go out there and just stomp them out before you even give them a chance. Like, you just got to just from the opening kickoff, you just got to pound Arkansas State. Don't even give them a glimpse of hope, because that's the thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if this looks a lot like the North Dakota game from last year, where we go up a couple scores and just play to get out of there.
Yeah, you try to keep all your players as healthy as possible.
Yeah, I'm expecting the same type of game, probably like Eric said, 35-14, like 35-17, something like that. So yeah, they go into the bye week at 4-0, and then we come out the bye week. We and then we host our second game. Wildcats. Hold on. Did you guys hear any of that?
I barely caught it. It's probably my end.
Yeah, try it again, Tyler. I didn't get
Okay. No, I was saying we're coming off the bye week, and on the 27th of September, we are going to be hosting the Arizona Wildcats. And then I asked what your guys' thoughts were.
Eric, go ahead.
To be honest, I don't know much about Arizona, but I do know that they have Noah Fafita coming back, and I think he's a pretty good quarterback. But he was a good quarterback under Jed Fish. Their new coach Brennan. I mean, last year that was kind of inexcusable for the talent that they had coming back, the quarterback that they had, the talent that they had on offense. I mean, they had a top 10 draft pick at wide receiver who he got his, but they didn't really do anything. Coming to Jack Trice Stadium, this is the first time this group has come to Jack Trice Stadium. The place is going to be rocking, especially for 4-0. This is one of those ones where Iowa State needs to be careful not to overlook it and look on to bigger things on their schedule. But I don't think they'll do that in this for this game. Coming off of a bye week has proven to be a little bit difficult for Matt Campbell and his teams, but I'm not too concerned with this game. I think this game ends something like 28-17. Good victory for Iowa State. I think that a guy that I would look out for is Ben Bramer in this game. I'll look out for Ben Bramer in the Kansas State game too, but look out for Ben Bramer in the Arizona game. I think he will have maybe over 100 yards receiving in this game. I don't think they're going to know what to do to stop him.
Yeah, I'm looking at Arizona's, and I don't know who on their defense would be anywhere close to stopping Ben Bramer. Not to mention, you also have the wrinkle of Gabe Burkle, who we saw absolutely grow throughout like the second half of last season. So imagine having to deal with that two-headed monster at tight end. Then you got the wide receivers who we expect, like at this point in time, have gotten really acclimated to the roster and the play style of Iowa State. And I mean, we talk about Iowa State being off on their bye week coming into this game. Arizona's going to be the same. So both teams in this game are going to be coming off bye weeks respectively. So both teams are going to be relatively fresh. So that means that both teams have had a chance to really recuperate after the first few games. Kansas State will be coming up, or Arizona will be coming off a game against Kansas State in Tucson. And this is going to be Arizona's first road game of the season because their games against Hawaii, Weber State, and Kansas State are all at home in Tucson. So really curious to see how this Arizona team will deal with being on the road for the first time in the season and it being at Jack Trice Stadium. And I'm really curious to see what time they're going to announce this game.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. And not, fun fact that the Arizona K State is a Friday night, so we have a Big 12 after dark game. Um, so
That's
yeah,
Friday.
yeah, that's a Friday night game.
Yeah, September 12th at 6 p.m. their time.
Yeah, so be prepared to stay up late.
No, we'll be fine because I think it'll be like, what, 7 o'clock our time since it's 6 p.m. Mountain Time for the Battle of the Wildcats.
Oh, it'll be 8 p.m. But but it's fine though because we'll be able to watch.
Oh, I
Thursday
thought you were
football.
talking about our game was on Friday.
Oh no.
No, we got all Saturday games. We are.
We have
good.
all Saturday games. Yeah, no. My bad. Sorry.
There's nothing I can't. There's nothing I can't stand more than a Thursday or a Friday night game, dude.
Listen, I don't think the Big 12 will be dumb enough to put like a team that's like as well known as Iowa State and as like popular as they are right now
like
on a Friday game.
I mean, they put us in 2017. They put us against Texas on a Thursday. And I'm just standing there. I was already out of college, but I was just standing there going like, how are these kids going to class tomorrow?
Right.
Imagine being like a classmate of theirs and you see them and you're just like, wait a minute, didn't you like? I just saw you playing the football game. Did you do the whole like? Imagine that's the question you get asked. It's like an athlete. It's like you were playing a football game. Did you manage to do the homework that was due today?
I think one of the things I want to talk about is Ben Bremer and Bramer and a guy like Ben Bramer and a guy like Daniel Jackson. They're going to be really hungry this season because they got, Daniel Jackson, this is his final year. Ben Bramer, he's got 2 more years. He's, he only got less than 200 yards receiving last year. I think he had 10 receptions, maybe a touchdown or 2.
Yeah.
He's trying to improve on his freshman season, but he got hurt too much. He's going to be hungry. And Gabe Burkle is a really, really, really good player. He is. So they're going to be 1s and 2s. But make no doubt, do not sleep on Ben Bramer. This guy is he is a freak. Is he going to be the number 1 target this season? I'm not sure. He could be. But he is so talented. His freshman, he's just only going to build on his freshman campaign. Got hurt last season, so he would be a guy to watch out for. You kind of want to keep him secret, but I really think he's going to have a special time in Ireland. So, yeah, I think that the Arizona game, it's one of those clean victories, never really in doubt, but we don't really pull away because, it's tough to pull away from Big 12 opponents, but I don't think it's ever going to really be in doubt because I just think we have much better coaching than them. So,
yeah. So I think that puts Iowa State at 5-0.
Yeah, so we're 5-0, and we are on the road at Cincinnati. We have beaten them the last 2 times that we faced them. So we are on the road again at Cincinnati. What do you guys think?
I mean, are we all going 12-0?
We might. We might go 12-0.
We're gonna see. We'll see what happens as we get further into the schedule. But right now, I think Cincinnati. I just don't feel that impressed about what they've done in their 2 years in the Big 12 so far. They haven't really stood out to me.
Hey, but you guess what, guys? We get to see our favorite player in the conference play. Dante
Oh yeah,
Corleone, the
Yes.
Godfather.
Dante
Hey,
Corleone,
Corleone.
the
The
Godfather,
Godfather. I
the
love it.
Godfather.
You know what? I said this. I think how we're gonna make the Cincinnati game fun is take a shot every time. If it's Eric Collins on the call, take a shot every time he mentions Dante Corleone, the Godfather.
Oh God. Oh
I
no.
I love Eric Collins, but when I saw Dante Corleone, the Godfather, going to Big 12 media days, I was like, this guy's still here.
I said the same thing.
Hold on, I gotta see.
This guy's still on the team. Dante Corleone, the Godfather.
I gotta see how. I gotta see this. Oh, wait. It says he's listed as a redshirt junior. His freshman year was my freshman year.
Oh my gosh,
What?
he has another year.
He's the same age as I am, but he's turning. Yeah. So let's see here.
Wow.
So he redshirted his freshman year.
Okay.
So yeah.
Dante Corleone, the Godfather.
With all that being said, I still think that we beat them as usual. I think we win like 30-13. There's gonna be something similar to what the 2023 game was like,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think we'll win like 33-13, 30-13, something like that.
I think they come back from Arrowhead. Or are they going to? Is the new Kansas Stadium open, or is that going to be at Arrowhead this year?
Uh, the Nebraska Cincy game should be at Arrowhead.
No, I'm talking about the Kansas game because that's the game prior
I
to
think it will be by the time August hits.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. I think it should be, but I'd have to look at their stadium
Oh, they might go.
updates.
But yeah, they're going to be coming back from the road. I think that Kansas beats them. I think Kansas will be a little better this year than last year, and I think they come home. They try to get a gritty game. This is going to be a tough game. I think this is going to be a lot closer than we think.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think we have better players. We have better coaches. We've proven, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a team twice. But once you kind of have their number, it's really hard. Like once a team has your number, it's really hard to break out of that. I think we win this game. Pull away late. I think Carson Hansen has a big day. I think we win something like 31-21. 6-0.
6-0, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we are on the road again, but this time we are at a place we haven't gone to in a while. We're at Folsom Field in Boulder. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is gonna be a really tough game. This is where I have our first loss. So unfortunately, I have us losing to Coach Prime and the Buffs. So I have us at 6-1.
Okay. What about you, Cody?
Honestly, yeah. If I see one letdown, it's gonna be between Kansas State, Iowa, and at Colorado. Like, if there's gonna be one loss on this first half of the season, it's gonna be one of those three games. So if we're 6-0 up to this point, maybe Colorado. I mean, Colorado is gonna they're gonna want to upset us. And I mean, yes, Colorado does lose Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter to the NFL draft. So I think, that Colorado is going to be more slept on, but the hype's still going to be around the Buffs because of Coach Prime and how Colorado does the post Shador and Travis Hunter era. This is setting up to be a mix of the perfect type of upset in the Big 12, and we know how chaos reigns in the Big 12. So I think this is going to be one of those cases where chaos reigns in the conference, and Colorado gets a major upset at home over Iowa State.
If we're 6-0 at this point, we are going to be feeling good. We're going to be hearing the hype. We'll be, a top 10 team, possibly a top 5 team in the country. Dion, I don't think they're going to be doing. Let me look at their schedule. Let me try to see what they would be at this point in the
Yeah.
season.
I got it, Eric. So they would
Uh,
have Georgia Tech,
okay,
Delaware
they win the first two. I think they lose to Houston at home.
at Houston. Yeah, they're up against
They
Wyoming at
beat
home.
Wyoming. I think they beat. Yeah, I think they beat BYU. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from BYU. I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't really know what to expect from Colorado. I have no idea with BYU. And then they got TCU on the road. I think they're 4-2
yeah.
somehow. 4-2. Feeling all right about their season. Still hopes alive, but they're kind of still. They're worried to lose. If we're 6-0, we'll be going in this game going, oh, this is a 4-2 opponent. We just, beat Cincinnati. We just beat Arizona. This is going to be we're going into a bye week. This one, I think we have the better coaching staff. I think we have better players than Colorado does.
No doubt.
I think their quarterback's pretty good. I think they got pieces everywhere. I don't really know how good of a coach and culture guy Dion is. He kind of, cashes in on like getting the big time blue chip players to come buy into his system of just like, swag and all that. Where, we don't get the blue chip guys, but we get really good culture, really good talented players to come play as a team. This is going to be probably the biggest test mentally up to this point of the season, even more so than the Ireland game. I think the Ireland game, you have to be mentally strong. This one is one where you kind of go in, you're probably a top 10, top 5 team if you're 6-0. And the guys are going to have to be mentally strong when it looks like, hey, we're better than this team. Because Kansas State, we don't know if we're better than them. But this is a team that we're going to go up against. You're going to be like, we probably think we're better than them. This is going to be a game where if Rocco Beck wants to define the season, it's going to be defined in this game. He will have to be mentally strong. He will have to be the one to pull the team up. I think we go down early. I think Boulder's rocking. They want to beat a top 5 team, blah, 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 blah.
No doubt.
Caden Salter, whatever. This one all comes down to Rocco, and I think that we get a win in Boulder and pull away late and steal one in Boulder, and we go into a bye week. The bye week also, the position of the bye week, that also makes it difficult. This is more of a mental game than like, hey, do we have better athletes?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's so similar to the UCF game last year, where we know we're better than that team. We have a better record than that team. We have better coaches than that team. But we're going into a bye week, and do we take it for granted? And yeah, it's going to come down to Rocco, and can he will the team to win? I think he does. I think we're 7-0.
Yeah. I think there's a mix of the UCF game and the Utah game because with the UCF, the thing was you were at home, so you had the crowd behind you. Against Utah, you were on the road. You were in a very raucous environment in Salt Lake City, so you had to combat that. And Rocco Beck showed that, that he did have the mental toughness to win those 2 games. Obviously in different circumstances, but you still saw the toughness of Rocco. And mind you, that Utah game, Rocco Beck threw a pick 6 in that game. And then you had the crazy punt block, I believe, that Utah scooped up for a touchdown or whatever. So you thought you were coasting in that game against Utah. Then you had those 2 plays happen, and Utah was right back in the game. I believe they took the lead at one point. But then you saw Rocco Beck have the mental toughness to go down the field, forget what just happened, forget the pick 6, forget the punt block that happened, and go down and execute when the team needed him to execute the most. So you have those factors. That can spell spell Iowa State being able to win late against Colorado, against a very raucous atmosphere. I'm going to assume right now that this will be Colorado's whiteout game. I'm going to say it right now. This will be their whiteout game.
Oh, yeah, if we're 6-0, they're going to be, fired up to play Iowa State. I hope it's an 11 a.m. game. Well, it probably won't be because they're on Mountain Time, but
yeah,
I hope it's a 1 p.m. game or whatever.
Yeah.
and we just, it zaps the life out of them. We get in, we get out. Thank you.
Yep. Nah, definitely. And then we go into the bye week. Man, consecutive seasons starting off 7-0. What a world! What a world! What a
Well,
world!
you have a 6-1.
Well, yeah, you guys are 7-0. I have a 6-1. Or no, it's Cody. Are you 6-1 as well?
No, I'm going 7-0.
7-0. Okay, so
You think we're gonna lose, Tyler?
yeah, I know. I'm gonna make myself a fool again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
We
me,
ain't
me,
losing.
we ain't losing, boy. All right. So we go into the bye week, and then we have the BYU Cougars for homecoming on the 25th. Another game I will be at. So yeah, I mean, before this season or before all the Jake Reslov stuff, I was actually really excited about this matchup because I thought that this was going to be the Big 12 championship matchup for most of the year until they chucked it away. So, but yeah,
Well, to be fair, Jake Retzlaff didn't do himself any favors. Let's be real. Those are
good
serious
point.
allegations, and with BYU being the school that they do not tolerate that kind of stuff. So
They
obviously, Jake
sure
Retzlaff
don't.
had no choice but to leave.
Yeah, and apparently he still might end up in the Big 12 somewhere. But yeah, but with that being said, what do you guys think? Because I have no read on this game. Really won't know probably until this game comes.
I'm gonna take
I
a look at
I
BYU
think
schedule. I need
I
to see
think that
what they
it's
got.
yeah, I gotta look at it too. But I kind of know, you know, we're coming off of a bye week. This is gonna be a game against ourselves again. We're in that era now where our team is good enough where half the battle is playing against ourselves. If we come out there, play the game that we can play, because we're talented enough now, especially with who our opponents are. If we come out and play the game the way that we can play it and play it right and execute the offense and fight on the defense, we can beat about anybody in this conference. That's where we are now.
Mhm.
If we look at BYU and go, they don't have a quarterback, then and we take them for granted, we could definitely lose,
Yeah.
especially because it's BYU and weird things happen against that team. But
Yeah.
yeah, they play Colorado, West Virginia, um,
Arizona.
Arizona, and the week before they play Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Oh
Utah,
yeah.
I think Utah will beat them. That will be such
Ooh.
an emotional high for them. And depending on whoever wins that game, like they're going to have a letdown game in Ames.
I agree.
We just have to execute and we win. I think, depending on what exactly happens with their situation, and I do believe that BYU will fight because it's different going to BYU than it is, most other like a team like Texas Tech, because guys go to BYU because it's BYU and not because of the dollar or not because of the prestige or whatever, the blue blood nature. The guys who go to BYU usually go to BYU because it's BYU and it's kind of like a vocation for them. However, when they see that their quarterback gets kicked off the team and they don't know who the other quarterback's going to be, if they start to lose, like if they lose, I don't think they'll lose the first couple of games. If they lose at Colorado and then lose to Utah and maybe lose to like at Arizona, there could be some guys going, this is a disaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm taking a
That
look
game,
at their. I'll let you finish,
BYU,
Eric.
yeah, BYU playing BYU after they play the Holy War, it's a game against ourselves. If we come out there, play in, especially being in Ames, if we come out there, play the game, execute our game plan, boys, we're gonna be 8-0.
You know, I like that.
Man.
You mentioned the emotion of the Holy War. You have that, but also that's homecoming for BYU.
Mm-hmm.
So you add that double whammy. There's just a lot of emotions, and and obviously with the shenanigans that happened last year in the Holy War with Utah's AD and like the athletic department, like what they were like talking about. So you knew BYU was probably pissed seeing that. They're like, all right. You want to talk all this about like whining? All right, come to our stadium and beat us. Prove that like you want to complain about it? We'll kick your like to for BYU. We'll kick your ass again. Like we'll kick your ass in our stadium and give the crowd a showing for you being whiny bitches. That's just what I think BYU's attitude is, especially to Utah, because the way that the Holy War went down last year. So they're gonna pour a lot of emotion into that, and that's a perfectly for Iowa State. And I mean, last year, similar circumstances. We have I Eric, you and I have Iowa State 7-0 off a bye week, and this is homecoming for them. Similar circumstances to the Texas Tech game, and unfortunately, we saw what happened in that Texas Tech game. But I think Iowa State learns from that game. They learn from that, and they use that to beat BYU, and they go and Iowa State's 8-0.
I love it, boys. Yeah. So obviously, I had to lose in the week previous, but we get back on the schneid and we play a hard fought game against BYU, but we move to 7-1. And
Woo-wee.
who we yes, going into November. I mean, and at this point, if Iowa State is 8-0 going into November, like this November 1st game, this is probably the most anticipated game of the season right here. I think probably besides K State and Iowa, but this one, like I think Rocco and the boys, this is the game that they circled on the calendar. The Arizona State Sun Devils, the defending Big 12 champions, come into town. Um, you already know that from that they have this loss on their hearts right now. Like they are thinking about this game right now against Sam Levitt and the Sun Devils come into town with Jordan Tyson. So I think this game, depending on where both teams are at, this could either I predict that this is either going to be a big noon game or this could possibly be a college game day game. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned obviously the loss weighing heavily, and I think this is going to be different. Like if this was a close loss, I think you can accept like you could probably take that like you accept that more. It's like okay, we fixed a couple of these things, then we'll be fine. But generally speaking, we were okay in our approach. We just made a couple of mistakes. But when you get embarrassed on national television, that that stays with you extra. That stays like with you way hard, like way differently, and that in your mind, it I think being embarrassed the way you were, the way you basically got pantsed by Cam Scattaboo and the Sun Devils, that's gonna make that personal. Like you took that personally. So there's no doubt that Iowa State's gonna be had that game circled. They're gonna just like people are gonna remind them Arizona State like they're gonna be reminded of the time like they're on repeat. I bet you in the weeks leading up to the game and the week leading up to it, people are going to be reminding Iowa State that you got absolutely embarrassed by Cam Scattaboo in Arizona State. You got ran over by him. Sam Levitt had a field day with you. So what are you going to do? And Iowa State will have to prove it. Like they're going to have to show it on the field what how they responded to all the noise.
This is one of those games that this has been circled by everybody. When the players were thinking about what was going to come out for the schedule, they already knew that they'd go to Dublin and play Kansas State. They already knew that, week 2, the official week 2 of the season, they'd play Iowa at home. They knew that. But what they were wondering is, when are we going to play Arizona State? When are they coming? They've been looking at this game all off season. A star will be born today. On that day, they'll be born. Now it depends on. I don't know who it's going to be. It might be Dom Orange. It might be one of the safeties. It might be a cornerback. It might be somebody on offense. But in order to win, a star will be born. Maybe it's Rocco. But I know we have a couple of transfers, and we really like what we have in those transfers. But these guys, if you ask all of them, who's the best college football player you've ever played against, I'd guess half of them would say Cam Scattaboo. Cam Scattaboo should have won the Heisman last year. He was so good. So good. I don't know how Arizona State's going to adjust without him. It was kind of like when we didn't have David Montgomery. Like we were kind of lost in the run game. Like we had no idea what to do. We had no idea what to do. Cam Scadaboo was ridiculously good. There's nothing we could have done against him. He was so good. Like we like I don't know. He got my Heisman vote. There's no question. And I think I have a pretty good NFL career, to be honest. I think this game this is like black unis or whiteout unis or whatever. We're gonna do all of that. I think we get a W just because, Arizona State, they do have a really, really good team returning, but I don't know how they're gonna adjust unless they find some other amazing running back. I don't know how they're gonna adjust without him. Cam Scadaboo being a redshirt senior, I don't know how they're gonna adjust without him. He's so good. And I think it's a hard-fought victory going into oh no, we're not going into bye week yet.
Not yet.
But this is the game we circled for the season, as well as the other two rivalries. But this is the one where like putting our chips on the table. I think we win this game. We're 9-0. We're a top 5 team, probably a top 3 team.
Oh baby.
I can't wait.
Oh baby, 9-0. Um, yeah, like I agree with what you guys are saying, and I think this is definitely going to be a thing for Sam Levitt this year. If you saw, Sam Levitt was very aided by Cam Scadaboo, especially in the passing game last year. When he was in trouble, he was able to throw it to either him or Jordan Tyson, and obviously he got better throughout the year. But that's going to be the adjustment: is who is he going to turn to when he is in trouble now? Like that's going to be the I think the adjustment thing for Sam Levitt this year, because he is getting a lot of praise in the preseason. But let's see how he does. I do think that the loss of Cam Scatterbo is going to be bigger than what people think. With that being said, I have us winning this game, and I have us at 8-1. Now, this next week, um, obviously, I think this game. Look at this as the classic Iowa State letdown in Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth against TCU. TCU is also getting a lot of preseason hype, thinking that they could be a contender in the Big 12. What do you guys think about this game?
I think TCU definitely are like there are some like good to look at when it comes to TCU. They look like they're gonna be like right in the middle, might be a dark horse. I'm just going down the roster. I think a couple guys to look out for, probably Eric McAllister, Jordan Bailey, and then looks like Josh Hoover's returning, so we might get an improved Josh Hoover at quarterback. And I can look at the rest of the roster. I mean, I'm curious to see how TCU looks because I think they had an okay year last year.
This is the hardest. This is the worst spot of the season.
Yep.
It's the absolute worst spot. Is a letdown right
100%.
before a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw a similar thing last year where Rocco goes back to West Virginia. That team's all, trying to fight for Rocco to get that win in Morgantown. And then they come home and they play UCF. And it's just a letdown game before a bye week. But this is like letdown before a bye week on steroids because you just beat a team that you think is going to be pretty freaking good. And you're going into a bye week with 2 games left. You're sitting pretty in the conference. You're probably like top of the conference, one of the top teams in the country, top 10 team, at least. Well, probably a top 5 team if they're 9-0 at that point. I think we lose this game. If we're 9-0 at that point, I think we lose this game because it's hard to put together a perfect season.
Yeah.
this is just it would be the ultimately mentally toughest game to win. Um, just because you just beat some pretty good teams. You're going to a TCU team that you think is going to underwhelm, and I think that we lose down in Amon G. Carter Stadium.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have Iowa State's taking their second L of the season right here. So we fall to 8-2.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I think the perfect run does end here because, I mean, yeah, it's primed perfectly for a kind of disappointing game because, like, at some point you're going to hit a road bump, and if you haven't hit one already, TCU is the perfect place to hit a road bump.
Yeah. So you guys both have us have
Nine and
The,
one.
the
9-1.
stadium is awful.
Yeah.
Like it's they're probably not going to have much to live for.
So why not
I don't
try to
think
spoil
Josh
somebody's
Hoover's that
season?
like exactly.
Might as well play spoiler maker. I mean, Iowa State was kind of that role for a long time, and now I think Iowa State's going to be on the opposite end of such.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But so yeah, we go into the bye week, and man, this is senior day. The last game, and Jack Trice, guys. This is a team. The last 3 years who has had our number. We got to get our lick back against KU. What do you guys think about this game?
Yeah, it makes me sick
It,
thinking that Kansas is a good football team. It makes me sick. I'm still sick about that 2023 game where Jalen Noel got that touchdown, what would have been likely touchdown called back because but he was still clearly in bounds. That thing, ooh, that thing. I'm
That
still
was
heated about that.
stupid.
I'm still heated about that.
Jalen Daniels is still there. Still
Apparently,
there.
yes. Apparently, yes. Let me go check the roster
Jeez.
just to make sure.
Yeah, I think they lost some pretty good players on their team. They
Yeah,
had a pretty good transfer portal, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
They've
Let me
recruited
take a
pretty
look at
well
the running
lately.
back room. Let me see if Devin Neal is
He's gone.
okay.
He was in the NFL draft.
Okay, so that
So
yeah,
yeah,
yep. Jalen Daniels is
this
still at Kansas.
this is going to be a tough one because it's Kansas and Lance Leipold is a good coach, but I think that we win this game. You know, if we lose to TCU, go into that bye week, we're gonna just be like, hey guys, we're fighting for a Big 12 championship. We got to put it all on the table. Come off of the bye week. You know, whatever injuries we have, they'll get healed up on that bye week, and we'll play Kansas. Probably be a pretty close game. Um, but yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's kind of like Cincinnati, where they come in, they put up a fight, they try to put up a fight, but you know, we hold them at arm's length, and we win on senior day and get ready to go down to Stillwater.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, this is. I think we finally get the monkey off our back, and we finally get one against Leipold. Yeah, we win this one. Actually, this would be the second one against Leipold because it
Yeah.
came in 2021. But yeah, we win. So I have them at 9-2. You guys have us at 10-1.
Yep.
So back to back 10-win season. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So now this is the end of the season. We are at uh Stillwater, T-Boone Pickens Stadium. We haven't played Oklahoma State since 2023. What do you guys think?
Never bet against Mike Gundy. That's last year was a very disappointing year, obviously, but I still am of the belief you never bet against Mike Gundy because who knows what he can pull like out of his hat.
I'm sorry, Cody. I'm betting against Mike Gundy.
I
I don't
I
think
am
they
too.
don't have any. They
yeah
don't have anybody on their
yeah
roster that really is like those other guys.
yeah
I mean,
true.
when you played Oklahoma State, they did have down years every once in a while,
Yep.
but they had dudes on those teams. They had quarterbacks. They had amazing wide receivers. They don't anymore.
Yeah.
Clip that. That's another soundbite, I guess. But yeah, they do they
Yeah.
don't have the guys. It's when you have that bad of a season, it's really hard to turn it around, especially in this day and age. Especially, I just I think it's to be honest, we will either play a team a good we will either play a good Oklahoma State team or we will play an Oklahoma State team not coached by Mike Gundy. That it's as simple as
Ooh.
that. And I don't think we will be playing a team that is coached by Mike Gundy.
Okay. Yeah. When I said like never bet against Mike Gundy, that was under the pretense that Mike Gundy would still be there. If he's not there, we go into Stillwater and we
Mm-hmm.
beat the tar out of Oklahoma State. Now I know I mean I've watched the Twister movie and the Twister remake last year. I No offense, Stillwater, but you're about to get hit with a nasty tornado coming in the form of Rocco Beck and the Iowa State Cyclones, and Iowa State's 11-1 to end the regular season.
Ooh, baby, 11-1.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Oklahoma State plays UT Martin to kick off the season.
Yep.
That's probably a win. Then they play Oregon. That's a loss. They play Tulsa. Whatever. Baylor. That's a loss. Arizona. At Arizona, that's close. That could be a close one. They got Houston coming to town. I think they lose to Houston. They got Cincinnati coming to town. But then they go to Texas Tech. That's a loss. Kansas, that's a loss. Kansas State's coming to town. I think that's a loss. They go to UCF. Depending on how Scott Frost does, that could be a loss. I mean, if they lose all those games, we will not be playing Mike Gundy.
Oh, baby. So, all right, you guys, you guys are at 11-1. I think we win this game comfortably. So I have us at 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, uh, we saw last week at Big 12 Media Days that they polled 7 coaches, and they said that the matchup in the Big 12 championship game is going to be Farmageddon again. With that being said, at you guys at 8-1, and I have us at 7-2. I think those records will both be good enough to make it to the title game. So, with that being said, who is our opponent in the Big 12 title game?
This is easy for me. This is Baylor. We're playing Baylor.
Ooh. I like that shout.
Baylor, I mean Sawyer Robertson. If we're talking, I look at who are the best quarterbacks in the league because those are the guys who likely can lead their team to a Big 12 championship. I think the best quarterbacks in the league are Sawyer Robertson, Rocco Beck, Sam Levitt. And you could kind of make some cases. I think Avery Johnson could be up there.
Yeah.
That's kind of who I have. Those 4 guys as being the guys who could lead their team to a Big 12 title game. Maybe Baron Morton, but he has to really improve.
Yeah.
I don't
But those
know.
are the guys.
Yeah. I think Baron Morton, like in the game against Iowa State last year, he did just enough, but he didn't really stand out to me in that game, even though we
It
lost.
was more the Tech defense that won them that game.
Oh yeah, the Texas Tech defense really, and I think special teams too, because I think they got a hand on one of Conradi's field goals that ultimately proved to be the difference maker. So yeah,
Yep.
I think I might also go Baylor.
Okay, yeah, I was buying into the Farmageddon hype, but nah, whoever loses that game, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be the season that we think. But I think, with that being said, yeah, I have us playing Baylor. And Eric, me, you, and Cole are going down to this game. Cody, you probably are
Of
gonna have to
course.
join us too.
Yeah, we'll see like my
how their
last
schedule.
schedule goes, and also basketball season, because I believe the same weekend that Iowa State, assuming they play in the Big 12 championship, they would play
They
at
play
Purdue.
Purdue. At Purdue, yeah. Um, yeah, but I think we make history, guys. We reign victorious. We beat Baylor, and we Iowa State is your 2025 Big 12 champion in football.
We finally did it.
We finally did it. Uh, so
I
you guys have us
I
at
think
12-1.
I think that we lose.
Oh, you think we lose?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Baylor at that spot would be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, that is true
Yeah,
because yeah.
that would definitely be another pain like thing. But I mean,
Oh, it would be painful. Oh, it'd be so painful.
yeah.
But I
So
think we lose.
yeah. So say okay. So let's say that we are 11-2. We lose that. Does Iowa State still make the college football playoff?
It depends on what Baylor's record is because if they're like 12-1, then yes. But if there were both with two losses, then no.
So you're saying okay. So you're saying heading into the game, both teams only have one loss.
So for me, I have Iowa State as 10-2, and Baylor is 11-1.
We
Okay.
would have if we are ranked in the top 10 going into a Big 12 title game and we lose close to another top 10 team, I think we make it.
Yeah.
If for all other circumstances in a loss, then no, we do not make it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm taking a look at Baylor's schedule here. So they host Auburn in the first game. Then they're at SMU. They host
Mm-hmm.
Samford. Host Arizona State. They're in Stillwater. Host Kansas State.
Mm.
At
Mm.
TCU. At Cincinnati.
Dang.
Host UCF and Utah.
Okay.
At Arizona. And host Houston on Senior Day.
That schedule's a little bit rough.
Looking at this year, I'd say Baylor's beating Auburn. Auburn is not the team that, like, yes, they're SEC, but they're not the team that I think some people are going to say they are. I don't think Auburn can match the ability of Baylor. Like, who's going to be who's Auburn going to put at quarterback that's going to be better than Sawyer Robertson?
True, Auburn has a good defense though, but we'll see.
And yeah, so yeah, we'll just have to see how Baylor's how their schedule shapes out to be.
Definitely, guys. So at this point, we're gonna talk about. Actually, no, we're gonna go and say if we're gonna go and look at the like last year we did our top 5 games nationally. So we're gonna do that again, and then we're gonna go through the schedule and take a look and see what schedules or top 5 games and throughout the entire season are interesting to us. So Cody, if you want to pull up your screen, maybe go to ESPN and then have us talk about that.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at that real fast. Let's see here.
Here, I'm gonna pull it up too.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's very simple. I think it's the battle of the national championship.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that LSU Clemson game on the first week, I think that's going to be your national title winner.
Ooh.
Whoever wins between
Okay.
LSU and Clemson, I think they win. I think whichever quarterback wins that game is going to win the Heisman, and whichever team wins is going to win the national title. Period. That's what I think.
Oh, in week 1? Oh, I see it. Yep.
In week 1. And yeah, I mean, that week 1 is ridiculous. You got Texas, Ohio State.
Oh, yep.
You got Auburn and Baylor that Friday. Oh, yeah.
Let's
You
see.
got Alabama going to Florida State. Is Florida State already done? Have they already mailed it in?
I hope so. I can't.
I,
I can't stand Florida State.
yeah, for obvious reasons. Let's see. And then take a look. Utah,
Who
UCLA
else
could
do we?
be. I mean, I'm being sicko, but I'm curious to
You
see
got
how they.
Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah,
Who else do we got?
let's see.
Oh, here's a big one, giant one. Iowa and Albany. Oh wow.
Ah,
Riveting.
Good God
riveting.
Almighty, the Almighty Albany. I really just think like, oh God, the Almighty Albany Great Danes are coming to town. We better be prepared for this intense
Get
matchup in
ready
week
for
one
some Great Dane football.
on FS1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm putting Wisconsin on upset alert on week one.
Oh,
They're
Mm.
you didn't
playing. They're
mention this,
playing.
Eric. Notre Dame, Miami
Oh yeah,
on that Sunday. Oh boy,
That's
Ooh.
gonna be an
that
amazing week. It's an
it's gonna be
amazing week
amazing
of
week.
Amazing
football.
week one, and then we get Bill Belichick's college football debut that Monday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just wanted to go. This is gonna determine Luke Fickel's job. If he loses this game, it's gonna be like people are gonna be calling for him to be fired. But they are a 17.5 point favorite against Miami of Ohio. I actually think Miami of Ohio wins
Oh,
this game. I think they beat Wisconsin week one.
oh my god, is this gonna be more embarrassing than when Notre Dame lost to NIU?
Yes.
Oh,
Mm.
hmm.
Yes.
I mean, realistically looking at it, I think Notre Dame had like higher aspirations than
Yeah,
Wisconsin
they were in
does
the
this year.
national title.
Yeah. Well, that was in hindsight, but in week two, everybody was hitting the panic button because they had lost to NIU as a 28.5 point favorite. Like I was I was looking at Notre Dame Twitter after that, and they were hitting the panic button. Panic buttons were hit not just by them, but the entirety of the national media.
Yeah. Definitely. Um. I'm gonna make my choice, and then you can make your choice, Cody.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an obvious one, but I'm choosing Texas Ohio State. Texas Ohio
Mm.
State. Both of these teams are going into new eras. Like I think Bleav it's Julian saying that's going to be starting for Ohio State, and then we have the Arch Manning era. It has
Mm.
finally begun. Arch Manning coming in as a starter. Texas, who lost to them in the semis in Jerry World.
Hmm.
So they're going to be looking to uh, give OSU revenge at the horseshoe. So that's my pick.
Eric.
He chose LSU Clemson,
I
right?
mean,
Yeah.
that's the national title game right there.
Yeah. I think Alabama, Florida State for me.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna be like I said, I'm gonna admit it. Like, does Florida State find a way to rebound from a terrible year, or does Alabama? Well, to Alabama standards, 9-3 was a very disappointing year. You know how mad Alabama fans were when they got omitted from the college football playoff against SMU. So I'm really curious to see. You got two fan bases who are very like on different ends of like the seesaw, but they have the same mental, like they're in the same mindset, but just on two different ends.
Yeah, I'd love to see Alabama go 9-3 so their fans can blow a gasket again. It was funny.
And lose to a mid like a bottom feeder SEC team.
Yep. What if they like lost to like Mississippi State? That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god. Oh no. You would have thought that Dak Prescott donned the Mississippi State jersey again for a day.
And he got killed because he was playing those legendary defenses when Dak was there. But
Yep.
yeah, what are your guys' what's your number two choice, Eric?
Michigan and Oklahoma.
Let's see. Is that week 2?
Yeah, that's week two. Is that at the big house or is that at OU?
I Bleav it's at OU.
Ooh, we.
in Norman.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Okay. For me, I'm going the border war. KU Mizzou. Give me the border war.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, so you guys are going through it within the first few weeks. All right, I like that. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna look down the schedule. Um, so for me, um, I'm gonna go down, and we're gonna go down a few weeks later. We're gonna go to week 3. Um, for me, I'm looking at this week, and yeah, all right, Eric. I think you know what game I'm gonna be looking at, but
Mm.
this is gonna tell me a lot about this team. Uh, you already know, or I think. Wait, yeah, you already know which game I'm picking. If you already know the other team I'm a fan of, Florida has gotten a lot of hype this offseason about being a dark horse. This is where they could possibly prove it. Like if Florida goes on the road and beats LSU, I mean this is the start of a tough 5 game stretch for them. I'm gonna give you guys that 5 game stretch. After hosting South Florida at home in Long Island, they have at LSU, at Miami, Texas, at Texas A&M. So that 4 game stretch, this will be the start of that tough 4 game stretch. So if they start they beat LSU in Death Valley, man, watch out.
Hmm.
So that's my second pick.
Okay. So we're going to game number 3, correct?
Yes.
All right. I guess like since I have this one in mind, now I know as much as we're an Iowa State show and we hate Iowa, I think this Penn State traveling to Kinnick Stadium. I remember the last time that Penn State traveled to Kinnick and the craziness that happened in that game. I Bleav a top 5 matchup, 2021.
Yeah.
And this can show me, this can prove whether Iowa like this could be a potentially star making moment for Mark Gronowski if he plays well against Penn State and they find a way to beat Penn State. That can
A Penn
submit,
State that's supposed to be a Big Ten favorite. Yeah.
yeah, that creates some chaos in the Big Ten, but also can legitimize Iowa as a potential contender to make it and be a legitimate one because they're not playing like these like low tier Big Ten West teams because we no longer have divisions in this comp in the Big Ten. You can get a legitimate you can get a star making moment for this game out of Mark Gronowski.
I don't want that. But anyway, so I'll pick the. I'll probably go with uh, Penn State at Ohio State.
Mm. Yeah. My thought process, Eric, is you got to give Iowa fans a little bit of hope. You got to give them a little bit of hope. Maybe you give them that win, and then you bring it back down to reality.
I don't. No, I don't want.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
want. I don't want to give them any hope.
Fair enough. Maybe
No
no.
hope.
For me, I think I'm a sicko. Like I would want them to like get hope and then just see them crash down to reality. I think
I'm not Machiavellian like that. I don't want them to have any hope.
fair
I don't
enough.
want them to have anything to build on.
No hope.
Fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
Penn State at Ohio State. 2 really, really good teams. Tons of talent. Really good quarterback play from Drew Aller. We'll see what we get from Julian Sayin. Really good running back talent. C.J. Donaldson is now at Ohio State. Penn State has 2 really good running backs. We'll see what receivers Penn State has. We know Ohio State has dogs. I mean, Jeremiah Smith. I mean, these are 2 battles of the blue bloods. Just crazy, crazy talented, huge stadiums. Probably going to be under the lights. November 1st. Beautiful. It's prime football time. Perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
November 1st is going to be a hell of a slate.
Oh
Man.
yeah.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
with that and then Arizona State, Iowa State. Yeah, that's going to be an insane slate. I am going to go with a lower king game. This game is on September 20th, but I think this game is definitely going to shape the Big Ten race. Um, I think it's gonna. I'm picking my for my third one. I'm picking Illinois at Indiana. Both these teams last year. I mean, historically, if you look at both Illinois and Indiana, both of these schools are basketball schools, and Illinois went I don't know what to do with that, but I do think that whoever wins this game, especially if Illinois wins this game, I Bleav either in one of the next few weeks, they host Ohio State at home. So this could really push Illinois to maybe be a dark horse to make it to the Big Ten championship game. So that's my third pick,
All
Illinois
right.
at Indiana. Fourth picks, everyone.
Eric. All right. If not, oh, he's gone. Oh, it's good. All right. Anyways, I guess for my fourth pick, I'm going G5. I'm going G5. I'm going to the American Conference, and I'm going with Tulane hosting Army.
Good pick, very good pick, man. Um, yeah, that does Tulane get their revenge?
Yeah, they had a little, but also I think this shapes up the American race very nicely because Tulane, Army, and Memphis are among the teams that are vying to be the conference champion of the American. So that Tulane Army game is going to shape up the American Conference really nice.
No, I agree with you, man. I am gonna look later on in the year because I know for mine, we're gonna look down and see. Um, huh. So for me, my fourth pick is gonna be the Red River for me.
Mm,
Because even though like this game is now a 2:30 game, this game used to be 11 a.m. That's the SEC for you. Um, I want to see Oklahoma is going to be interesting because now with John Mateer and Arbuckle coming to there, I want to see how Oklahoma does. Is Oklahoma gonna rebound and maybe be respectable, maybe like 8-4, 9-3, and now Texas, coming into the SEC the first year and just a overtime period away from almost winning the conference in the first year. Um, this game might mean a lot more than last year's game. So give me the Red River rivalry at my number four game.
hmm All right. Okay, so for my final pick, I'm going down all the way to rivalry week, and I'm going with the game
Michigan, Ohio State. Yeah,
in the
this is
big
a huge
house.
game.
Yeah, Michigan, 4 years in a row has beaten Ohio State. Does Ohio State finally get that win again?
Yeah, because it's 4 in a row?
Yeah, 4 in a row for Michigan over the Buckeyes.
Man, that would be, yeah, that would be a huge win for them.
hmm
I'm gonna take a look at, you know what? I'm gonna go in conference for my last one.
Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go Texas Tech side because Texas Tech has notable games. They have notable games against Texas Tech. They have notable games against K State. And if they can beat BYU and beat either one of those three teams, if they can do that, maybe hold on one second. Um, yeah, man, and I think if this is could be a game to where this is late in the season to where if they can really prove themselves to be worthy of all the money they spent because I think for Tech, this is going to be a game that like sort of like defines their season. Like, are is Texas Tech what they said they were in the off season?
Will the money
Now
talk?
with that, yeah, what is the money going to talk? Like, you spent the bread, but was it a return on investment? So that, I think for me, that's going to be the thing. But yeah, we're gonna try to send Eric a his last few. He got kicked for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm gonna send him a email so we can get him back in the show. But man, like, with those five, I'm excited to see what Eric has for his five. But I think you know it's going to be a great season, man. I do think that with as much as everybody like talks about like the negatives in NIL, I do think the NIL has even the playing field though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think now it's just like once the college football season is coming, like once it starts, we're not really gonna be talking about the off season because the college football it's here.
Right? Yeah, we're like almost what 40 days now.
Yep.
It's crazy, bro. It's coming, man. Um, s- but lastly,
Then, uh, fortunately, looks like we're having a lot of issues here towards the end, but yeah, just a very long episode. I was very surprised just to see where this is gone. We're almost like hour and a half. So if you're still here, you're listening to us, then thank you very much for putting up with the chaos that is live streaming pod. But yeah, uh, the other guys don't show back up. You can find me at Matt Cable Impersonator. I'm mostly talking about like pro wrestling right now. I mean, I was just watching AEW's All In show. Oh, there's Tyler. Let's be honest here in a second. Wonder if he got kicked or something. But
about that, what I was asking earlier, I was asking you, did you what would warrant as a successful season? Like, we went through the prediction, we went through the schedule. What would qualify as a successful season for you?
9-3 is the floor,
Yeah,
and I would like for a bowl win as well. Like we gotta win our bowl game too. If we're 9-3, we have to win our bowl game. That's the absolute floor for this squad. There is a world where we could go undefeated. It would have to take a lot,
the
but
floor.
there is a world we go 12-0 in the regular season. But the ceiling's definitely 11-1.
Yeah, I think there is a world we go 12-0 this season, and the thing is, if you would have told me that like 5-6 years ago, I would have looked at you sideways, and I've been like, dude, there's no way that we go 12-0. But now, talking about it, 12-0 doesn't really sound that crazy. Obviously, all of our haters are gonna be like 12-0. What do you mean? No, like it's actually, you know, if things break our way, obviously, in those type of things, you sort of need luck to go like for some undefeated seasons. But there is a realistic way where we could win all our games, and now we're at a point to where like Eric was saying in some of the game descriptions that we went through is like is we have the talent now. It's just are we tough enough mentally? So I think that is going to be the thing right there. That is going to define the season.
Yep.
So I think with that, we are going to end today's show. For all the sickos that are still on here, man, thank you for this is a well over our usual time, but thank you guys. This is our scheduled prediction. So obviously, this is going to be our one of our more longer shows of this year. Uh, but thank you guys for tuning in to the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. A few things before we go. We are a top 15 sports podcast in the state of Iowa, nominated by FeedSpot, and we are also a top 50 most listened to podcast overall in the state of Iowa. So thank you, FeedSpot. Thank you, state of Iowa listeners. Thank you, everyone who listens to and watches the show. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like it says on the screen, like, subscribe, and enjoy. So we want you to do that. Find Cody on Twitter at Matt Campbell Impersonator. Cody, what are you talking about these days?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it a little earlier while you were off the stream, but I mentioned talking about AEW's All In show that happened over the weekend. Still talking about pro
Yeah,
wrestling. We're on the road to SummerSlam. It's like we're
let's
coming up on that pretty
go.
soon here. 19 days away, so I'm very excited about that. And then once the college football gets closer, we'll be talking about that a lot more. So just things to really
Mm-hmm.
hold me over. Um, yeah, so those would be the main things to look out for.
Definitely. Yeah, you can find me, Tyler, on Twitter at SciTi Guy. Yeah, for me, um, one of my favorite college football podcasts I recommend is the Solid Verbal. Um, right now they're doing conference previews, so when it's conference preview season on the Solid Verbal, that's when you know that the season is not too far away around the corner. And I believe they'll be doing the Big 12 preview tomorrow. So I'm excited to see what they have to say about Iowa State. And lastly, find us on social media. We are active on social media on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So for Tyler Carter,
And for Cody Van Cielo,
this is the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
go Cyclones.